Bear with me, I'm sorry. I've not used this program before. Hi, my name is Nova Osha. Today I'm presenting Lifespan Development, Social, Emotional, and Moral Development of Infancy. I'm at the University of Arizona Global Campus. I'm in Sci 304 Lifespan Development. My instructor is Dr. Klepper, May 24th, 2021. Here's my introduction. A person develops socially, emotionally, and morally throughout their lifespan. In infancy, which is birth 2 to 2 years, influences in development include age-graded influences, which are normal development that can be tracked through predictable events related to age. History-graded influences, which are outside influences such as the times, basically, so whatever wars are going on, who's president, that can also be an influence in someone's development. Non-normative influences are events that can occur that are atypical to everybody else, so they are pretty much unique to that specific person, and that can be an influence in development. There's biological influences such as disorders or genetics, different kinds of traits that people have passed down through genes, even such as alcoholism and whatnot. Environmental influences would be what kind of environment the child's raised in. So obviously, what country they're in, or what kind of home that they have, and who's around, and that leads to the social and community support of who's around, who's there to nurture the child through their developmental years, and care for them and be guides and show them what's going on. Variables that can affect healthy social development of infancy would be genetics, as we just touched on a little bit. Genetics can affect a child's temperament, especially in cases where the child has genetic disorders as Down syndrome. A lot of things are passed down hereditarily, be it diseases or disorders or, many things. So that can definitely influence a child's social development and how he interacts with others just right off the bat through his genetic makeup. The temperament of a child also can affect healthy social development because that is also kind of involved in genetics. That's the child's behavior, such as smiling, laughing, regularity of eating and sleeping habits, adaptability responses, and how cheerful they are. These can just be kind of innate temperaments of how the child's going to act. Some babies cry more than others, and that's just how it is. Biological factors such as heart rate, levels of stress hormone cortisol, and activity in the frontal lobe can definitely affect healthy social development. If there's a lot of cortisol in the child, which is a stress hormone, that can ultimately affect the child as cortisol stays in the system for 30 days. So every time a child experiences something stressful, it takes 30 days for that level of cortisol to get back to normal. And the longer that level of cortisol is raised, they can experience similar symptoms to a child with ADHD, which may be forgetfulness or difficulty staying on task or getting on task, or also having hyperactive tendencies. Variables that all affect healthy social development of infancy continued. Attachment, love, and affection has a huge effect on social development. This involves a bond that a child has for their caretaker, including contact, comfort, and social smiling. Studies have been shown that a child doesn't rely just on a mother for feeding, through the study with the monkey, but also they rely on their mother for their comforting contact whenever they feel stressed out or sad. That contact can help help them de-stress. Maternal talk also leads into that, as the maternal talk is very important and vital for the development of an infant socially. This can impact the child's mental state and future language and emotional development. So the more that a mother is talking and getting the child to talk or babble back, this kind of interaction can help greatly with the social development of the infant. Variables that affect healthy emotional development of infancy. So, peripartum depression, postpartum depression can affect the emotional development of an infant, because if a mother is experiencing these mood swings, altered mental state, and crying fits, this can be detrimental to how the child is perceiving expressing of emotions. And 10% of mothers may experience some form of this postpartum depression. So it's very important for the infant's development and for the mother to seek help at this time and make sure that she can bounce back in order to show the child how to properly develop emotionally. Bonding, which would include touch, comfort, and emotional closeness, is also super important for emotional development. This is because the more that a child feels safe, the more they're able to express themselves. If there's not a lot of bonding and touch and emotional closeness, the child might feel neglected, or not even know that it's feeling neglected, but could be neglected, and this can lead to mental issues down the line of different mental disorders such as anxiety and other mental disorders too. Variables that affect healthy emotional development of infancy continued. This can also include parenting styles, so parents' responses and expressions, i.e. concern versus excitement, can affect the healthy emotional development, because a infant is constantly looking to adults to show them how to act and behave, and especially if they're about to go do something dangerous. If a child's parents are responding excited over a dangerous situation, the child may not have that emotional development of anxiety and safety and concern for their own well-being. Stimuli also affect healthy emotional development of infants, because infants can experience stranger anxiety where a new face can make the child nervous. Any kind of outgoing stimuli is new to the child as they're newborn, and as they're growing in their experiences, all of their experiences are more extreme to them as they're all fresh and new. So every kind of stimuli can make a child fearful. If there's a loud boom or clapping sound, or if there's a giggle, that stimuli can make them laugh. So that's all part of the emotional development. Family members and caregiving partners play a huge role in emotional development. There's obviously all types of separation anxiety that can occur when a parent or caregiver leaves a child's presence, making the child distressed. Any kind of way that the family member and caregiver is treating them, which is also involved with the bonding, can result in emotional development, because they're constantly looking to adults and people, for that kind of development. Variables that affect healthy moral development of infancy would include environments and social interactions. Environments would be the punishments and rewards instilled in right versus wrong ideology. So those punishment and rewards can help to influence a child and how he's going to act. If he hits another child and he gets disciplined or reprimanded, then he'll understand that that is not okay and that is not a good thing to do. And he starts to develop this understanding of right and wrong and what is supposed to be done and what should not be done. And this helps to develop their morality. Social interactions provide necessary opportunities to view world from a new perspective. All these social interactions, again, are fresh, new. I'm sorry, there was an ant. They're fresh and new, and every social interaction that they have is helping to teach them new things. Learned social conventions or religious norms by their parents and others also help to influence this moral development, as they begin to understand the beliefs that their family or the community around them has. And this also helps to develop that, because then they can see what is portrayed right and wrong in their own household. Continuing these moral development of infancy would be experiences. And when infants see others helping each other, it instills helpful behavior. So as a child's watching constantly for a role model or example, if a child sees somebody helping, then he also will realize that is a moral thing to do. That helps in moral development, because he's able to understand and process the fact that helping others is a good thing. Participating in chores with adults, such as wanting to aid in sweeping, also helps to develop moral understanding. And this idea of wanting to help eventually transforms from participating in the simple act of helping and mocking the adult to eventually understanding the impact it has on another person to help. Let me just make sure. Okay. Summary analysis: how decision making could be affected by these variables. Their decision making as infants eventually can be affected by their emotional states. These emotional states and all the factors that I listed can help to show them how to act properly. I'm sorry, my cat is very distracting. Can help the infant to understand how to realistically portray their emotion, but also to use logic and reasoning while they are doing things. This goes back with the concern versus excitement. If a child knows to be concerned when doing something dangerous rather than being, too emotional about a situation, this can affect their decision making later in life. The beliefs and values that they learn from their parents and communities and other people around them can help them with their moral and social development. Having these beliefs instilled at an early age in infancy can help the child to grow and to make better decision making based off of a higher morality of wanting to be a good person or help others. Incentive, reward versus punishment can also influence their decision making, because if they hit a child or take another child's toy, and they've learned already in the past what can happen if they do that, what punishment can happen, or when they help somebody and they realize what reward they are given, then they'll want to keep up with that kind of incentive. And richer experiences. As a child so young and in infancy, every experience is extremely rich and new. Learning, discovery, and figuring things out for oneself can also help with decision making, as they are still trying to figure out, if a stove is hot, which is a personal example, or, if gum is sticky. And so they're constantly touching and feeling, and that decision making will eventually, they'll be able to reflect on those experiences and make future decisions based off of those previous experiences. In conclusion, many factors play a huge role in infants' social, emotional, and moral development. Each experience an infant has is rich, as the world is so new to them. Interactions, experiences, and information they read off others and their environment help to shape these developmental concepts. Burke, 1996, page 285, writes, "We as teachers need to facilitate the development of psychologically safe environment that promotes positive social interaction. As children interact openly with their peers, they learn more about each other as individuals, and they begin building a history of interactions." So to promote healthy development in these areas, it is vital for parents and others in the community and other caregivers to provide good examples, positive experiences, care and nurture, and proper education to infants on right and wrong. And this will help eventually shape them as they develop into larger kids and eventually humans or adults. Here's my references page. I'm not sure if I should read this, so I will. We got Bridges, 1930.